It's new investigations. Now, you see this word, democide, murder of people by government which has power over them. Democide or popularcide, the intentional killing of an unarmed or disarmed person by government agents. Now, basically the situation what you've got in Britain now is akin to this democide, where the people are basically disempowered, disarmed, and for the first time since traditionally the British peoples has had weapons, even if it was like swords and bows and arrows and all that, right? There was an armed populace, there was not an unarmed population of people, right? And basically after the World War II, obviously that's when it became an unarmed type of population, right? Because up to then it had things like, it had like musket rifles knocking around, and always there was an armed populace right up to like 1940s, and then the sort of World War II type of event took over, and then after that it became like this idea of it being unarmed, right? So that's very important thing is power over an unarmed populace, right? In order to do this democide. So, of course, what I'm talking about in terms of the democide is taking place from the mass immigration, which is basically ultimately going to lead to extinction of the native race of the British Isles within 100 years. Now, I'd say this is a plan, obviously their own Masonics sort of think that they're going to be saved overall and all this, but I wouldn't think so. I would think it's planned to whittle them down, like the white race, the native race, one by one, and then essentially get rid of their own Masonic ones who are, in that sort of protected status at the moment. Right? But this would be ethnic genocide, under United Nations. So you see the Human Rights Treaty adopted on 9th of December 1948. Again, it's just following World War II. Right? So they come up with all this stuff to protect, which falls the whole World War II thing into a bit of an dubious category. It was basically a hexing, like a world event. Right? And obviously the numbers of people that were supposed to have been killed in it was one of the things where they used to disarm the public. Right? They needed disarmed population, and as you see by the name, right? Blame. So again, it's like the scapegoat ritual, the blame. We put the blame onto someone within that type of thing, and the dumber and dumber, and as you see here, 43-year-old Thomas Hamilton killed 16, right? So there's seven again, and 13th of March, so that's 133, which is again a 7. And 13 is again like the death number, right? And 1996 becomes 666, right? Like upside down. So everything about this was created. Injured 15 of us for 6 again. And Thomas Hamilton TH, like Terence Higgins. It's you can see the code in that, right? As you see here, following this event, they started going on about public debate centred on gun control laws, right? Through public petitions for ban on private ownership of handguns. The Cullen report. Cullen, like Culloden, which was one of the the last battle between the Scottish and English on the borders. Right? It's to do with the Jacobites, the cobra, snake bites. Right? Of course, to give this hex some authenticity, Sir Andy Money. Supposedly witnessed it and all that. Yeah. I talked about it and started crying and stuff on numerous occasions, if you see here, you see it, Judy Murray and the Erskine. So you see here, this Erskine family. He's David II of Scotland, the Chamberlain of Scotland. So these are very much an establishment's family. Right? And what's not known about that Dunblane thing? Right? As you see here, you just see as Dunblane Primary School. Right? You can't get much more information than that. But what's not known about it, right, is that school where it took place was actually in a private fee-paying boarding school, right, for children of armed forces of captain and above rank, right. So it had shooting ranges, firing ranges, and rifles on the premises, right. Rifles and ammunitions on the premises. It wasn't just a normal school, right. That's what they covered up about it, right. Obviously, they just wanted to give the impression that some nutter walked into a normal kiddie's primary school and started opening fire, right? But it's not like that at all. Right? It was a private fee-paying boarding school for military people, so by no means at all a normal primary school. This place, right, is basically a posh little Masonic village in Scotland, one of the posh areas of Scotland, right? All Masons, every single person who lives in the village, right? So basically this is one of the hexes in the biggest hexes in history, And again, used this on the native populace, right? Because of what they were planning to do. And they needed obviously, if you're going to march mass immigration, they needed an unarmed population, because otherwise one or two people might have turned up with, took exception to it, like type of thing. Again, a reformation type of background. Of course, like the PSYOP, says that even a person that had proper licenses and all that, he should be banned from having them. And of course, now the place is just being invaded, like, isn't it? There's a Masonic temple building around it as well, Dunblane Centre. Definitely a Masonic lodge there as well, definitely. If that's the same one, there would definitely be one there, And there's definitely going to be a Masonic unveiling. Now this Rwanda plan thing that they had talking about this Rwanda plan, take the immigrants and send them to Rwanda, right? But at the last moment, something happened, and then they had to stop it, right? But they were never going to do that anyway. It was just a pure con, because obviously if you've got like immigrants from, say, India, right? You can't just take them and plant them in Rwanda, because obviously they can just, they've got the rights under the UN and all that, and they can just contact their own country, right, and just stop the process happening anyway, right? So it's never going to happen, right? But why were they talking about Rwanda? And then why was the actual Ruda Bonner Rwandan, right? Again, it's part of the PSYOP, and I've already done a video about the magic wand, right? So I'm not going to do that again. But why we're talking about it is basically quoting in reference to this Rwandan genocide, the Rwanda plan. It was basically them openly discussing that plan for genocide in Britain, for an ethnic democide, So snidely talking about this Rwandan thing, and obviously, this is the plan, for Britain, British Isles, is to do something like this. So you've got ideas about a civil war, which are going on about here, and you've got obviously an ethnic cleansing type of thing. Right? But obviously there's no UN coming to the rescue in the British Isles, Again, so this one was supposed to be Rwanda, right? So again, it's this Rwanda thing. And basically, what we're trying to do with this was again, we're coding in this Free Ruffians idea of Masonic, right? So basically saying that those ones, the free white kids, they were like the past, right? And that this one was the future. Because only 17, that's the sort of young, like kids' age, right? For like the restocking of the land. So basically you see the reversal of the story in that PSYOP with Axel Ruda Bonner, where the Free Ruffians are assassins. And basically they turn the run so that Hiram Abiff murders the Free Ruffians, right? You'd see it referenced in. And basically becoming like the Free Ruffians equals the white children, Again, Hiram Abiff become the builder or the architect. So again, it's signal in that they're building a new place. See, they're building a new place. Again, that Boris Johnson, who's gone on about the Rwandan plan, who's gone on about the Build Back Better, and the Sunak was talking about the levelling up. So it's all to do with Masonic, building a Masonic, building a new Masonic society, a new temple or something, Because the Three Little Pigs and all, like the Three Little Pigs, who obviously built up that house and that. Of course, the one who built the house out of brick was the one who was he kept his house up or whatever, and that's meant to be the masonry idea, see. So the one that built his house out of brick is the Freemason one, it symbolises being in there Freemasonry. Number 2 houses blew down or something. That's what this thing was about. He's talking about Peppa Pig. PPP 666. Right? Peppa Pig world is very much my kind of place. So it's a talking about his new society. Right? Obviously, Boris Johnson is Jewish. His new society, what they're building. Right? This, build back better, building Hiram Abiff, the new temple, the new society, constructing it.